Mm. Tisha, you are the epitome of beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. You were not that girl. You were not that girl. You just ain't found the right one to put you in your place. But it's coming. It's coming. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We're here to talk Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 5, Nell to the No. Stupid title. But if you guys are brand new to the channel, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and leave your comments down below. Y'all know we are on the road to 45,000 subs. So if you guys are enjoying the videos, which based on the views, y'all are, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel, all right? I did not recap last week. I'm in the Milwaukee area. We have flooding. We had heavy rains. We got 14 inches of rain overnight, which is ridiculous. So there were power outages and internet outages, and I had a week, okay? So we're back. Just to touch on some stuff from last week's episode. One, I still hate the intro. I still hate the intro, and I hate the transition scenes with like the fake social media likes and hurts and shit. I don't like that at all. It's childish. It's childish. Carlos, my God, Jesus, like go back to the drawing board. Kimmy and Tisha, y'all are not transparent. Y'all aren't. I don't know why we're still having this conversation. I don't know why y'all are trying to gaslight Nell and the audience into thinking that y'all are. Y'all are not transparent women in regards to this show. You're deflectors. Tisha, you was drunk as fuck last week and annoying at their party, and you did too much. You did too much. How many times is Marcel gonna basically not have your back and embarrass you for you to know this? See, Tisha is the type of woman that I do not like because she does all of this when she get a little liquor in her system. Because if Tisha was sober, she wouldn't have had shit to say. I can't stand a person that is built up on liquid courage. I can't stand it. You're a joke. Sick of Tisha's ass. This is not your show. Like, Tisha is really trying to position herself as like head woman on the show, but baby, you can't. Beautiful gowns. That's all we have to give you. So Nell goes over to Lance's house. She came in asking about snacks and wine. I said, well, what's in the bag, Nell? You brought your own shit, didn't you? So Lance is a single dad now. Where is the child's mother? Now look, kudos to Lance for, I'm not going to say stepping up, that's your child. Kudos to Lance for handling his responsibility. Where is the mother? Because Lance is like, everything is up to me. He said he is the father of 3, or he has 3 he got some kids, but he's not used to everything being on him. He was like, if the baby gets sick, it's on me. Yes, nigga, it's your child. What is happening? Where's the mother? Do we know? Do we know? Is he sharing custody, or is he the sole parent? I need some clarification. So apparently after the baby was born, Lance and the baby went to stay with Nell and Fletcher, but now he's back home. Where is the mother? I'm going to keep asking, where is she? So Lance said that he is drained mentally, emotionally, and physically because he's getting up to, take care of this baby. And then because he owns a construction company, he still got to be up for work at 7. Welcome to adulthood. You have a baby, a newborn. Yes, the baby would like to be fed. I'm sorry. The baby don't want to sit and shit. Yes, the baby's going to need you. Like, what are we really talking about in this scene? Nell is offering to get the baby 2 to 3 days a week, and then they can kind of swap off. He's going to have shared custody with his mother. I said, oh. All right. Now, this is interesting to me because, Nell, you were the main one last season talking about how y'all can't enjoy y'all money because y'all are constantly giving it to the children, yet here you are offering to get into a joint custody situation with your child. And yes, before somebody says that's what grandparents do, I get that. I get that. But there is a difference between a grandmother stepping in and helping and what Nell is seemingly wanting to do. Lance said he doesn't want to keep moving the baby. The baby likes to be up under him. You are the father. So he doesn't want to disrupt the baby. And kudos to him for being like, nah, let's not keep moving the baby back. Let's get the baby used to the environment, okay? So Nell offers to come and stay with him and the baby 2 to 3 nights a week. So that way the baby does not have to move around. That is a better that's a better shebang. Okay. So Lance wants her to mention it to Fletcher first because I don't want daddy getting on me. Okay. So Nell said, look, they've been married for X amount of years and he will be okay if they are separated for 2 to 3 nights. Nell brings up how Destiny feels like she should have told her about Lance. Lance said, I owe Destiny a conversation, but I don't owe her an explanation. Is that not one and the same? I kind of feel like I don't care. So Lance said that if the shoe was on the other foot, he would have some questions for her. I think you would be pissed, Lance, if you and Destiny are dating, casual or not, and she pops up pregnant and didn't say anything to you about it, and now she's 8, 9, months pregnant, and the baby's about to slide on out in another day or two. I think you do owe Destiny something. You do. So he kept saying, Lance, that Destiny made it clear that she just wants to be casual. Lance said, look, Destiny played in his face a little bit. And, after all the time we spent together, we just went on a couple dates. We were casually dating. If you and Destiny were casually dating and it wasn't a big deal, then you should have had no problem telling Destiny, yo, I went and laid up with so-and-so, got a baby on the way. If y'all were casually dating and there was nothing more to it, then that should have been something that was relayed to her. Y'all know I don't even fuck with Destiny like that, but that should have been something that was relayed to her. So we get Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny. They are at a boutique to shop, and Kimmy thinks that everyone needs to start hanging out more. Y'all asses have been together every single episode this season. What more do y'all need, Kimmy? Now, why don't y'all do some more individual scenes? We don't need more group scenes. We need more individual scenes. Let's see what you and Maurice got going on at the house with Junior and Jaylen. Let's get into more family dynamics. Let's get into the love and marriage, Huntsville. Let's get into that. Because we get enough group scenes of y'all showing y'all ass where you and Tisha can cower to the side and throw, fuel on the fire, and y'all don't have to get into the shit that's going on with y'all. Because I'm sick of seeing about Trisha and Ken. We don't care about them. Let's get into the Scotts marriages and family dynamics. We don't need to see y'all hanging out together more. Y'all hang out enough. Destiny said, well, I know them half us, so we don't need to hang out more. Destiny, let's get into more about you. Because I feel like Destiny is doing the same thing she did when she first came on the show, which is she's showing up, serving half a look sometimes, but she's showing up and she's not giving us anything about her life. That's it. That's all I feel, okay? So they begin to tell Destiny how Nell feels that they are not transparent and y'all asses aren't. So Nell felt like Tisha blew her off, and Tisha was like, I didn't blow her off. I said it on the podcast. Let's be real. Let's be very clear. If this were the other way around, right? If this was somebody bringing up some guy or some woman, if this were Maurice or Courtney or anybody else doing an interview with Martell and Arian, If this were that situation, the way Tisha would have been all up in Melody's face, asking how she felt about it, asking how she feels about it, asking how she feels about it, asking how she feels about it. Tisha, kiss my ass with this bullshit. You were deflecting. And you know you were deflecting about it. You know you were. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. I will always believe that. Do I think that that woman might have been messing with Marcel? I don't know. But the fact that Tisha gets so out of her body about anytime somebody even has an inkling or has some type of conversation about her marriage, she be ready to slide down the fucking wall talking loud and slow. I'm sick of Tisha. Y'all got Mel up off the show. She quit. She said, fuck all y'all. So now let's dig into y'all asses. Like I've been saying, y'all don't have Melody and Martell's dysfunctional ass relationship to hide behind. Y'all ran Stormy off the show. Y'all got Tiffany and, what was her name? Lou. Y'all got Tiffany and Lou up off the show. So now, like, that's okay, Tisha. Tisha's gonna have a rude awakening coming soon. Oh my God, today. So Tisha then starts denying that she was in Chris's face. No, you were. You were in Chris's face with your drunk ass. There's nothing worse than a sloppy drunk ass bitch that don't remember what they did when they were sloppy and drunk. So Kimmy was like, well, you were headed in that direction. You know, Kimmy and Tisha clearly have a pact this season that they are going to ride for each other harder than they've ever rode before. Tisha said that they should stop going after people's marriages and kids. Tisha, maybe it's me. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe I'm confused. Aren't you the same woman that every time y'all are in the vicinity of a couple, you are asking about infidelity. You are asking them how they got past it. You're asking how did they deal with it. Why do you keep asking people about infidelity in their marriage? You're the one that gets in people's marriages. Tisha, I promise you. Tisha, like, when the other shoe drops, shit. I cannot believe how Tisha is used to Marcel gaslighting her, and so she's trying to gaslight people back, but she don't know how to do it. So Destiny brings up Martell, and Tisha walks away. So Destiny said, is this how we're gonna do every time I bring up somebody that you don't like? And Kimmy was like, yeah, I guess she is. Yeah. So Destiny said, look, it's a hard space to be in because she really knows everyone because of Martell, and she always holds Martell accountable. Destiny, go lie somewhere else. So Destiny then said that she ran into Lance, and he wouldn't even make eye contact with her. So Kimmy and Tisha, who were very mum earlier about the podcast, nothing to say, now they just, asking question after question after question. Oh, just rapid fire, just 21 questions in this bitch. So they're asking, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because when we were asking you questions, okay, about the podcast and about Marcel, you told us it doesn't matter. So nobody cares anymore. Next scene, I'm not going to entertain this because if Tisha is not going to be transparent and talk about her life, I don't give a fuck about her asking anybody else anything about theirs. I'm telling y'all, they need to bring the right person on this show to check Tisha one good ass time, and she gonna learn. So then we get Nell and Trish, a scene I wish I never saw. I don't care for Nell. Lord knows I don't like Trisha. This was painful for me. So Nell said that Tisha is constantly doing things to her. Said that Tisha always has a comment about everything, but is confused when you say something to her. Facts. Facts on facts. So I wrote in my notes, it's typically when Tisha is drinking that she somehow finds her voice, okay? Nell does not like that Tisha got in Chris's face and was doing all this. I mean, she shouldn't have done it. If there are people that are like, whoa, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. So Trish was like, well, it didn't matter because she shut up. Trish, because I was with Nell. If Tisha would have done that to Ken, you claim you have a temper, you would have went and, tackled her ass or something. Who knows? So Trisha's like, but Tisha's not like that. Nell said to you, and I don't like when people do this. If I'm telling you my interaction with somebody, my perception of how somebody treated me, don't tell me that's not what that person does because they did it to me. They did it to me. So Trisha saying that Tisha is not like that. I was with Nell. To you, she's not like that. So Trisha said that Tish is only like that in the group setting. That's even worse, and that is the issue. That means that Letitia Scott, is putting on airs. She's trying to show out. She's not being herself. That's an even bigger issue. Because if I'm cool with you on a solo tip, but when we're in a group, you acting like you this, that, and the other, we got a problem. We have a problem. Nell feels she needs to take a step back from Tisha now. Take a step back from the show. Take a step back from the show. Jaylen goes to Kimmy's house, said he got a look. What? Okay. I like Jaylen. Jaylen don't bother nobody. Why he sounds like Elmo or something. Has he always sounded like this? I don't know what's happening, but he said he got a lucrative job offer in Huntsville, so he's going to be turning down the job in Colorado. So because he was able to put on his resume that he helped build Black from the ground up, I guess they like that work history, and so he was able to get a better job offer in Huntsville. So he's not going to move to Colorado. Makes me wonder if there was even a real whatever was Chicago with Colorado. Because now it's given that it was somehow like a little fake storyline just to get Jaylen a little more airtime. But okay. Kimmy immediately was like, okay, great, we can do projects together. Like, why can't nobody have their own work on this show? Why y'all want to do so much fucking group work? Oh my God. So Jaylen said, I talked to Maurice and Marcel, and he feels like Maurice just does not get it. Kimmy said, well, Maurice has a hard time accepting his part in it. Jaylen said that Maurice was mentoring him, and maybe it was fatherhood, but I don't know what fatherhood is, but it worked out. So it's giving that the Scotts sat down and thought of scenarios and situations that they could concoct that they were comfortable bringing to the screen so that they can avoid talking about what's really going on in their lives. So Chris goes to see Lance at work. Lance brings up the conversation with Nell about, mom wanting to come and stay to help out with the baby, but I could use to help so I can get, 2 to 3 solid nights of sleep. But I want to make sure you cool with it. Chris said, hell no. I'm not okay with it. How would you feel if your woman is out of the house 2 or 3 nights out of the week? Now, I saw on Twitter that there were a lot of people saying that Chris Fletcher is acting this way because Lance is not his biological son. Remember, Lance is Nell's son before they got married. I don't think it's that. I'm with Chris. Take some responsibility. This is your child. Do you know how many people? Do you know how many single mothers are working and they have a newborn and they have a baby and they're up all night and they have to do all that and they still get up and take their asses to work because that's what needs to be done? This is not a case of Lance saying, okay, can y'all take the baby for the weekend? Watch the baby for the weekend. Watch the baby for me for a couple of hours. You want your mom to basically come and be your night nurse. I am with Fletcher on this. I just am. I see that, okay. I see both sides of it, right? I'm a Libra. Okay. On one hand, I see that Lance, you don't want your child to struggle if they don't have to. So I see that. Okay. So he's flailing a little bit. Again, where is the mother? Where is the mother of this child? Because if Lance is crashing out like this and he has the baby, 1 week, then the mother has the baby, then he has the baby the next week, then it's like, okay, like, okay. But like, I need more context, right? But on the other hand, I see what Fletcher is saying. You are an adult. If we constantly do everything for y'all, then how are you going to know how to handle specific things when we're not around? So if every time the baby gets sick or every time something happens with the baby, me and your mother are there and we're taking care of it for you, how are you going to know how to take care of it yourself? I have a friend who her mom still does so much stuff for her, right? My parents do stuff for me. If I needed my dad to come do something for me, he would come do it, right? So I'm not taking that away from anybody. However, my parents also made sure that me and my brother are responsible and that we were brought up in a way that we know how to take care of ourselves. We know how to pay our bills. We know how to run a household. We know how to cook. We know how to do laundry. We know how to do, you know what I'm saying? Like we were raised with the work ethic that I get up and take my ass to work Monday through Friday. I don't call in arbitrarily. You know what I mean? Like I've had the same job for the past 13 years at this point. I don't job hop. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when it comes to Lance, and the way that Nell and Fletcher have invited us into their home to show us that, remember last season, they had that whole conversation about how they want the kids to stop calling them for everything if it's not in an emergency. And they feel that they really did not do the best, clearly, job at raising their children because they are still so dependent on them as adults. As adults. I have a friend that her mom does everything for her. She just does. Her mom still does her laundry. Her mom, you do your children a disservice when you do that for them. There's a difference between wanting to help your kids and you don't want your kids to struggle in a way that you don't have to, that you had to struggle maybe. And then there's a way that you are hindering your children. I bought a new TV stand. My dad is going to come put it together. I'm not going to put it together. He was like, why pay a task rabbit? I'll just come put it together. Bet. Those are the little things that your parents help you out with. It's just, it's I can see both sides of it. I can see Lance. I can see the side of the people that feel like Chris should allow Nell to help Lance. But I also see the side of it where people feel that Lance is a grown-ass man. Figure it the fuck out. So I don't know. I don't know. But Fletcher encourages Lance to talk to Martell about time management. For all we can see, Martell is a good father to his children, but Martell also has an ex-wife who takes care of her children when she has her children. Martell is not a single father. He's not the sole provider and caretaker for those children. So there is a bit of a difference. So the last scene is Tisha and Nell. Nell immediately said that Tisha got in her husband's face, and Tisha was like, okay, Miss Nell coming in on this energy. So Nell said that, Tisha, you were on 100. Tisha said, I don't remember because you were drunk. You were drunk. So Tisha saying that I wasn't, but you're entitled to your opinion. Tisha's being condescending. She's trying to gaslight Nell. In her confessional, Tisha doesn't like how Nell is talking to her. I don't like how you're talking to Nell, but here we are. I'm sure Nell doesn't like how you're talking to her. Nell wasn't talking to you any kind of way. She's confronting your ass, is what she's doing. So Tisha said that this is not the first time that Fletcher said something about Marceau. And this is where Tisha completely messed up in this conversation. Because Nell was like, what are you talking about? Tisha brings up the Atlanta situation. Remember, seasons ago, Okay, when that picture of Marceau's back, or whose ever back it was, that picture was released when Marceau was in Atlanta. And Marceau told Tisha he was in Atlanta grabbing dinner with a friend. And Tisha said, "Who's the friend?" Marceau said, "Chris Fletcher." And I feel like that was kind of when the Fletchers low key got introduced to us on the show. That's where that came into play, right? So now it's like, what does that have to do with anything? I was in Atlanta with them. So Tisha is like, no, 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 because Chris said that he had to take the picture to prove that he was, with you. I was in Atlanta with them. They went to the Atlanta food market, the fish market, to get me some dinner. And he ran into Marceau. What are you talking? Marceau brought up Fletcher's name. No, but what does that have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with nothing. What that got to do with it? You brought it up, fool. Tisha, you brought that situation up. You brought it up. Dumbass. So now Tisha don't want to talk about Atlanta because what does it have to do with anything? What did it have to do with anything when you brought it up in the first fucking place, Tisha? She's so fucking stupid. Oh my God. So Tisha accuses Nell of getting loud. I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. Nell wasn't loud. Nell didn't raise her voice. Nell didn't call her out of her name. Nell didn't do anything to her. You're just mad that Nell clocked your ass about this and about how you and your husband are always at the crux of some bullshit. That's what happened. Tisha said that Nell isn't being respectful. Nell said, I ain't got to do a motherfucking thing. I said, right. You ain't got to do nothing for her ass. I do not like Tisha. I have never liked Tisha, and I feel like this season is just making it worse because Tisha, we are really seeing Tisha try to be in her essence, and you're a fake. You're a fraud. You're not that girl that you think you are. So of course Tisha gets up and walks out, and then we all know she gonna run back to Marceau and tell everybody she got loud with me. She got loud with me. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. You tried to pull some shit out your ass, and because Nell knew what you were trying to do, she threw it back at you with the truth. Why did you bring up Atlanta in the first place, Tisha? Why? Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Did y'all enjoy it? Leave your comments down below about this episode and last week's episode with Trisha's party. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.